Hi, my name is Nigel Weiser. I'm the Director of Channel Management, Digital and Contact Management with CIBC. At least in my life and career, none of it's been easy. You're constantly overcoming challenges. You're constantly overcoming tough situations. So I have tons to pick from, but the one that my mind goes to because it was so fundamental and life-changing, and it's going all the way back to the beginning of my university days. And it was a critical decision that I had to make where I was trying to decide, do I stay in school or don't I? I kind of just, stumbled through high school, got to university, and realized you have to do work and you actually have to try. And I was, in all honesty, ready to come home and kind of pack up my bags. And that's not to say that university is for everybody or it's a requirement. What it was is a challenge. It was a hard challenge that required me to change and transform who I was in order to overcome it. And what I learned at that time, because honestly I was sitting halfway through the year and I thought, do I quit halfway and go home or do I stay? And with some valuable conversations with my mentors at the time, got me to ask myself some really hard and honest questions. What have I contributed to this situation? What could I have done more? If I do decide to quit, what are the other options that I have? So those questions in my mind obviously led me to say, okay, I'll try and stick it out. But what I learned even after that became so fundamental in making who I am as a human being, in that I came to learn this challenge that seemed unsurmountable to me, one that I just thought, I'm not meant for this, it actually became one that I owned. And it actually changed my working style, it changed my working habits, because I began to see the progress and the improvement I was making and the results I was achieving just by putting my mind to it. So the reason I bring that story up is because I've felt this situation many times since then, where I've thought to myself, okay, this is probably enough for me to pack it in, I'll call it a day. But you think back to that situation and none of them feel as bad as that one did. And I've come to kind of learn that those are the situations that truly build you, and that's those tools that I've taken with me every single step of the way. It's doubting yourself, not feeling like you have the capability or the resiliency to do it, and we're not even trying. So I guess the lesson I learned out of all that, you have to push yourself, and if you don't know until you try. So I've constantly carried that with me, and ultimately it's taught me that you can do a lot more than you think.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Sedlacek, and I'm the Director of Operations here at Contact Point 360. I've been in the BPO organizations now for just over 18 years, and it's really important that when you're working for clients, that there's any issues that come up, you need to address them. And there was one very unfortunate one that came up which cost a lot of financial heartache. And when we explained it to them, it was a challenge. Should we tell? Should we? Because we were being impacted by it. And when we did explain it, they actually gave us the funds back, because it was all about humility and explaining what had taken place. And it was just a technical error, nothing done humanly, but technically. And I think I took that very personal. But I was actually able to overcome that as I walked away from that and felt that clients are partners, and it's important.
Hi, I'm Dilip Nair. I am a Senior Director with Allied Solutions, responsible for the customer service delivery for Allied out of Canada. It's a relatively new challenge for me because I was in a role previously in India where I was leading the customer service function for what was then Aon Hewitt, and it was a very different scale from what I manage today. But I recognized that I had hit a glass ceiling. I'd pretty much grown through every rank in the business, and I saw myself getting comfortable, and I saw myself heading to a state of inertia that I know from my past experience is the one that I don't enjoy. So what I tried to do is to break out of it. I was lucky to be provided an opportunity where I could prove that I'm actually good for something else while I can continue to retain my skills. That opportunity was moving to Canada and leading the customer service group here. And while I could retain my skills, like all that I've learned through over years, but use it in a completely different geography, a very different culture. I was part of, doing a lot of diversity initiatives back in India and actually talking about how, how different cultures are. But it was a completely different ball game to experience it. And I thought that was a challenge because I just came here with what I know and I trusted the skills that I have. But I had absolutely no preparation to be able to fit straight into the culture. And if you take that along with my inherent need to not try hard to fit in, it just makes it that much more difficult because I wanted to bring my authentic self here and wanted to be accepted for that versus trying to blend into a culture where I kind of lose myself. So which is why I'm incredibly proud of being able to do that, is to retain who I am as a person and still be accepted and working effectively in a culture which is very different to mine. And it's a challenge, I have to say, has probably helped me grow as a person a lot more than what I would have thought.